I'm not one to go with the crowd and put up your picket sign and be like, your team is trash or this team is trash. I'm not with that. But when you have a team, and I know that Julio Jones did not play yesterday or did not play. But when you have a team that consists of Julio Jones, when you have a team that consists of Calvin Ridley, who is probably one of the best young receivers, when you have a team that consists of Hayden Hurst, who you got and you paid a lot of money for from the Ravens, when you have a team that consists of Todd Gurley, and you have a team that consists of Matt Ryan, there is no reason. There's a reason why you have these leads, because they're solid players. Like Calvin Ridley is one of the best young wide receivers. Julio Jones is arguably the best wide receiver in the game. Todd Gurley is still serviceable, even though we know the injury history now. Hayden Hurst was really good for the Ravens. And Matt Ryan, he was an MVP. But when you have all that, and you still find a way to go up 16 plus points and to then lose 16 plus point, or that 16 plus point lead, and ultimately lose the game, there's something to be said about that. I think that's mental. I think that's a mentally weak team. I think that once they see a bit of adversity, even though you're up, you start to clam up, and that's how teams are able to come back. And honestly, I'm not one to blame coaches, because a coach isn't out there playing. A coach isn't out there the one that, getting beat. A coach isn't out there the one. A coach is not the one to throw the interception. A coach isn't the one to drop the ball. I don't blame coaches. However, when you, as a coach, Dan Quinn, have blown several, it ain't just one, you've blown several big leads. The most famous one is the Super Bowl. When you've blown several big leads, that's something, and your players are not getting better. Calvin Ridley is good because he's good. Don't think it's because the coaching development is. No, Calvin Ridley is good because he's good. Julio Jones is good because he's good. I'll say that, I'm beating around the bush at this point. Dan Quinn should be fired. There should be I don't know if he's lost the locker room. I don't know if his team doesn't trust him. I don't know if he just doesn't know. But there should be no reason why you're the first team in NFL history to give up 2 consecutive 16-plus point leads. And the thing is, you didn't even give them up to teams that are like you didn't give them up to the Seattle Seahawks. You didn't give them up to I would understand, right? I think the world will understand if you had a 16-point lead and you gave it up to the Kansas City Chiefs. Hell, they did that against the Houston Texans in the playoffs. I would understand if you had a 16-point lead and you gave it up to the Ravens. We know how fast that offense is. I would understand that. I would understand if you had a 16-point lead and you gave it up to the Bucs this year, because we know all the talent they have. I would understand that. But you have a 16-point lead and you give it up to the Cowboys, who we just saw this week lose to the Seattle Seahawks. And you also gave it up to the Bears, who, yes, the Bears are 3-0. I'm not taking anything away from the Bears. Congratulations for being 3-0. I'm surprised that the Bears are 3-0. But you give it up to a Bears team that benched their starting quarterback midway through the game. Todd Gurley hasn't looked good. Calvin Ridley is the only wide receiver that's looked good. How do I know this? One, I watched the game. Two, I had Julio Jones on my team in fantasy. Calvin Ridley is the only wide receiver that has looked good. The defense has looked horrible like usual. Matt Ryan, we saw the horrible horrible interception that ended the game. Again, Dan Quinn should be fired. The fact that he didn't get fired last week is crazy, but now he definitely should get fired.